All right, so we're live on Beyond the Game. For those just joining us tonight, like I said earlier on, two superstars. One, of course, as always, in the sports industry, and the other, a musician, a star at her own craft. I did mention earlier on when the show was beginning that Karole Kasita, the biggest song, at least for so many people, Chekecha. I said Shiba. Correction, it's Vinka and Winnie Nwaji. Karole and Sokee, welcome to Beyond the Game. I'll start with you because this is your first time to appear on anything related to sports, right?
I'm in fact very nervous.
You can't be nervous. You perform in front of how many millions of people?
I don't do sing then.
So that's the reason why you guys have the shades on.
Not on stage.
Yeah.
So they look beyond the crowd. I look back. Wow.
Is that the trick for musicians?
That's the trick for most of us musicians who fear crowd.
Wait, Karole, does that mean you're actually a very shy person?
Very.
She doesn't come across as shy.
I find that very, very hard to believe.
Okay, so my man Sokee, I've
Yes,
told
sir.
everyone that cares to listen to me that this guy is the greatest, and I was telling Karole as well, the greatest rugby player this country has ever seen. Us who are a little old enough to follow and understand rugby at that time, I'm not that young. I look young, but I'm not that young. Us who could understand rugby when you were playing, know what you are. A speedster. Let's talk about speed, Usain Bolt. You are our version, and many of us admired your talent. So it's such a pleasure to have you here tonight. And I don't even know where to start from with you, but first of all, welcome to Beyond the Game, sir.
Thank you so much, Jonah. And at least I've met my superstar friend. Yay! autographs.
I thought that rugby players should be like, ooh, like mugged. I'm surprised he's not mugged.
Have you seen how big he is?
He's not mugged.
Just as he's wearing clothes.
He's not mugged.
Okay, I don't have to go far like
You
that.
know, because the game is like, ooh.
Actually, it might be one of the things that we'll talk about. You see, when you stop playing, you have to actually work out to become a little smaller. Otherwise, you will not be able to manage your body after. But before you have a few months left.
That's interesting.
It's much bigger than that. Yeah.
It's interesting, yeah.
Let me start with you, Sokee.
Yeah.
2007
Yes.
is the greatest year in the history of rugby in Uganda. And that year, you were part of the team that won what many people call simply the Africa Cup of Rugby.
Yes.
Uganda conquered Africa. And it's never happened again. It had never happened before. It has never happened again. Just quickly, take us through that journey. What did it take for you guys to focus and go all the way to believe that you could be the best team on the continent?
Okay, I think the journey of 2007 actually began in 2000. The very, very first time we went to Zimbabwe for a test game. And we played 2 games, won the first, but we were whitewashed by the Zimbabwe rugby team. 2-3 years later, we get to understand what test rugby is all about and then started working towards it. And it's no surprise that it coincided with Chester Williams coming through. So the Ghana Rugby Union really, really put emphasis on the 15th game. So we had 2 weeks camp in South Africa. I have never played so much rugby in my life. Wake up, have breakfast at 7. You're on the field by 8. You train until 11. Go rest. You're back between 2 and 4. Go back, rest, and then you're back in the evening at 7 p.m. for the evening shift. I've never played so much rugby in my life. And then you have this buffet of breakfast which you can't touch because you're not allowed to eat certain meats. But by and large, they prepared us so much in terms of technical ability, in terms of managing your body. We're only drinking water and juice and fresh juice. So we had so much going for us because of Chester Williams and the South Africa rugby team. And kudos to the Ghana Rugby Union, man. They really put and invested in us. And that time, you have to take 2 whole weeks off work because we had 2 weeks in SA and then 1.5 weeks in Madagascar for the championship. So it was like a month of leave. I'd never been away for that long. So it was pretty exciting. The bunch of players that we had were we left individualism out of it and just looked out for ourselves.
I'll get back to the guys that you featured with. Now, Karole, for you, obviously, he's talking French, I think.
No.
But we're just
Actually, I know rugby because the school that I went to, that was the JSs, they were very good at, we had a very good rugby
You're in
team. Yeah, I was there for senior one, and we had a very good rugby team. So I know what rugby is.
Okay.
So when I hear someone like this speak about rugby and all that, I'm so honored to meet somebody like this. I didn't think I would meet somebody like this ever in my whole life. Yeah. So it's exciting.
That's exciting. And you talk about school, and imagine Sokee as well for you started also in school.
Yeah.
Now you speak about Indeje. Where did your music journey start from? Was it at school? Is it something that you picked up much later, or it's something that you felt you were going to do from the moment you started understanding?
Of course, in school, everybody has that interest in music. You're miming songs, you mime songs, you compose songs, you dance, both culture dances and this other miming, get those things. But then to realize that I wanted to do music, I was in senior 5 when I recorded my first single in studio. And I knew I wanted to do music, and my mom was supportive. She said, yeah, you can do this. She used to give me some money for some projects when I needed it, and look where we are now.
Was she supportive?
Very, she's still supportive.
They didn't have any challenge about you getting into music, because we on last week's show, Pia Pounds was here and she said to us that her parents did not want her to get into music because of the connotations around the industry. That, oh, you're going to be singing in bars with drunkards, guys hitting on you. So as a conservative parent, you're thinking, I have to protect my daughter. I don't want to expose her to that kind of life.
I don't think my mom knew so much about the industry that it would make us want to stop my dream. I don't think she was so invested in the entertainment industry. She was just a normal person who is out there busy doing her business, and her daughter wants to sing. And she was like, go for it. And given her, she had sisters who had gone for, who had considered for Miss Uganda, Miss World. So she was already around things like that. But she was not so much into what really happens out there. She was like, go do your thing.
Takes me to what I've always wondered. We've seen the story with Keiko, we saw the story with Jackie Chandiru. I just want to contextualize and understand the challenges in the music industry that sometimes subjects our stars to what they go through. I'm glad both are on the proper road to recovery.
Thank God,
back,
yeah.
Sing Blue 3 back together. Keiko is also back, trying to do her own thing.
Bless
but
them.
what gets you guys in your industry to drop to that, maybe to drop to such levels where you're struggling and maybe people cannot help or you don't get the help that you need? What exactly, causes that?
I think we get to a point where we see a lot of love from people, from our works, and then we get a lot of praises, and we get to a point where we feel like we are almost like gods. Like people praise you, people want to put on your shoes for you, people want to clean your body for you. So at some point you feel like you're losing it, maybe because you're not giving that beautiful work like you used to give, and the stardom has somehow gone down a bit. So you become a bit depressed because there's something you're used to and you're not getting it anymore. And then you might end up wanting to use. And then sometimes it's peer pressure. The people we hang around, people we hang with, our fellow musicians who we hang out with can influence us into doing things we don't mean to do, and then maybe we get addicted to things we didn't mean to get addicted to, because we all have different brains. So I don't want to judge there, but I'm sure most times it's about the peer pressure. Most times it's the pressure and the peer, like who do you hang with? What do they do? What do you do in your free time? That really counts.
Okay, for Sokee, a bit different. Speak about what you do with your time. I
Yeah.
like to pick from where she started. What do you do with your time? Because the way you dress, you don't dress like a rugby player.
Bank.
What do you do in your retirement time now that you're not actively anymore in rugby?
Okay, actually, I've been a human resource professional even all through my rugby playing days because we are purely amateur. So I've been human resource. I work with Ghana Telecom, work with Bank of Africa, I work with Finance Trust Bank, work with Interswitch. Now I'm in human resource consultancy, which means we offer all kinds of things like recruitment, team building, trainings, manpower solutions. So it is really an 8 to 5. And in HR consultancy now, the challenge is you don't have a regular 8 to 5. Because if you have a proposal to put out, if you have a bid to put out, then you're going to wake up at midnight and push till morning, and yet you still have to be in touch in office. Or if you're rather wanting somewhere quiet, you go, do your work, and there's no pressure of, I have an 8 to 5. The now challenge is, be it a Sunday, if there's a client who has to be serviced, you gotta be there. So
that just sounded wrong, but I wanted to be service, but hey, no one's paying attention to that.
So it becomes hard, and I'm glad to come my later years because I think it will be harder for me to manage a regular sports schedule that sports really requires.
On the same topic, I want to ask both of you because doing this show,
Yeah.
I've learned so much from, especially because I'm a sports person. So for sports, I have a better understanding. But I've learned so much from the artists, from the entertainment industry, music, because the perception that people out there have of our artists is not what you see when you meet them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because what you're saying is, I've learned something today. When you speak about your brand should be bigger than your music, that's something that not so many people pay attention to.
Yeah.
They just think about this. She dropped Chekecha, she had Winnie Nwaji and Inka, and they looked good, that song was. But when outside that, they're not thinking further than, okay, Karole Kasita, what does she do more than music? So why is that there's that perception that many people are not involved in this industry, whether it's sports or entertainment, they don't look at you guys beyond your craft?
Yeah, they look at only our craft because it's how business has been done in our country for a long time. You will take an example of people who have been here before us. Some of them may not have anything that speaks about them beyond the music that they do. I remember when Chameleon managed to get a Kabiditi. It was Kabiditi. Which phone was that? Chameleon. He had like a phone. It was called what? He had like a phone that he had introduced. It was about him.
It was a Kabiditi.
It was Kabiditi. Yeah. Remember how now take an example of how Spice has Yaket water. That means that even if Diana goes away from music, we can take the water for the rest of our lives and she'll still be getting something.
Or Shiba with Holic.
Oh, Shiba, how she has Holic pads. Yeah. So it's something we are just getting into. And our fans, even our fans are not yet used to it. They're also just getting used to the idea that we can do things beyond just getting money from you, like through music. You can support us in many other ways. Yeah.
Right. I'm just going to ask you guys to hold your thoughts for a quick second. We're going to jump into a quick break. When we get back, the conversation continues. And I hear Sokee's idea on why people think sportsmen cannot do anything beyond the pitch or the basketball court. We'll be back right after this quick break.